And now we can see that the fact that Stork actually opened up those 2 mineral lines probably means the reason he obviously did that was because he was intending on being using an aggressive strategy. And the question is whether or not he's aware that Bisu's expansion is in the north lane. It looks like he is aware, so he's sending his forces up in the north. I must have missed it where he found out about that. But Stork is pushing his forces up the north, and Bisu's observer has just missed that. I think he might have just caught the tail of those dragoons. He's now going to see those forces barreling up, and Bisu's going to be forced to defend it. Bisu doesn't have any reavers, so if Stork can actually force Bisu to cancel this expansion, he's going to give himself a massive advantage. And Bisu is now going to be forced to defend. Bisu with only about 5 dragoons, Stork with 5 dragoons and more pouring through, and a reaver in his shuttle. And this is going to be Stork's chance here. Stork now getting in within range, striking range off that Nexus. I'm sure both players have upgraded their dragoons, and Stork now coming in. Stork has got that dragoon. Bisu's got his dragoons very well spread out though, so that's giving him a chance to fight back in this game. Another reaver shot goes out. Bisu's reaver comes out, but Bisu's reaver does not have a shuttle to protect him, so Stork can focus that reaver down and take it out. And Stork again using that shuttle to his advantage to take down Bisu's reaver, and Bisu's reaver dies. Stork still has 3 dragoons as well as his reaver. Bisu only has 1 dragoon. Stork taking an advantage in this game. It does look like Stork is going to be able to win this game, guys. It does look like Stork is taking a huge advantage here. Bisu's Nexus coming under fire. Stork's going to have more reinforcements pouring through. Bisu invested a lot of resources in that Nexus, and Stork now with a decisive advantage. It looks like to me, guys, that this is going to game 5. Brilliant play by Stork. Bisu going for that Nexus. It was a little bit risky, obviously, and Stork doing the right thing in mining both lanes, all 3 lanes actually opening up a pathway to be able to affect that attack, and his time was perfect. Those lanes opened up just as his forces were ready at peak condition, and now any economic advantage Bisu was hoping to gain has been nullified, and Stork now with an advantage, and Stork setting up that Nexus. Stork bunkering down and setting up that Nexus. He's got more forces on the ground as opposed to Bisu, and now he's also got that Nexus since Bisu's lost the minerals he expended in that Nexus, and Bisu's going to lose one of his observers as well, so Bisu loses that observer, and I don't think that observer got within range to scout that Nexus. I'm not 100% sure though, but Stork has now expanded, and Bisu on the defensive. Unfortunately for Bisu, even though he got that reaver out, he didn't have a shuttle. Stork was able to defend his reaver using the shuttle, Bisu not having enough dragoons either, so Stork overpowering Bisu in that, despite the long distance he had to go to actually get that attack in. But Stork's timing absolutely spot on, perfect. Bisu unable to reap any harvest from that expansion, and excuse me. And now he is in trouble. Now Bisu is in trouble, and to me, I think it's going to be very difficult for Bisu to come back in this game. I think it's going to be incredibly difficult. He's going to really have to pull something magical out of his hat to be able to make a return in this game. Stork with a humongous advantage. Bisu has got somewhat of a defense in his base. Stork has got an observer sitting there, so he can see exactly what Bisu has. He's seen the 2 reavers as well as the majority of Bisu's forces in the top lane. Stork again pushing up the top lane. I think he would have been better off going down the bottom lane because the majority of Bisu's forces are near that top lane, and Bisu will probably be able to stop Stork from getting in there quite easily. And Stork has now put up a pylon in the south lane as well to detect any expansions Bisu goes for. So Stork building up an advantage, a severe advantage over Bisu right now, and he's content to just block Bisu in and keep Bisu's forces at that. And Bisu now trying to mine that bottom mineral line. Bisu needs to get an expansion up, or he's going to be hugely behind in terms of resources and not going to have a chance in this game. He definitely does not have a unit advantage. He cannot get a unit advantage because Stork timed, and this is really, in some ways, guys, if you think about it, this is a mirror of game 1, because game 1 Bisu delayed that expansion and produced more units. Of course, it was a lot earlier in the game. In game 4, it is Stork who has gone for the later expansion, and it does look like the player going for the later expansion when both players have similar builds is that Bisu now trying to push out. Stork has pulled his units back. Bisu deciding to push out. Bisu just has concentrated all of his resources that he had on building up a lot of units because he realizes that he cannot catch up economically with Stork. Can't affect the win. He's going to be in trouble. He's got that shuttle. He's got the 2 reavers. Stork has got his forces spread out quite well though. Bisu now coming in with his dragoons. Stork is going to be able to try and get a surround, try and get a perpendicular line here, and Bisu might be able to get the first reaver shot. Stork gets the first reaver shot. Double reaver shot. Takes out 2 dragoons in 1 shot. 2 more dragoons go down for Bisu. Bisu is finally bringing his reavers into the equation. I think Stork has lost one of his reavers there, but Bisu's lost most of his dragoons. Bisu's shuttle goes down. Stork is going to win. Bisu loses his entire force. Bisu should GG, and the crowd go wild. Brilliant play by Stork. He positioned his units perfectly to counter Bisu's attack, and Bisu's forcibly retreating, but there's no way he can come back in this game now. Stork is going to take this to game 5. Brilliant plays. Expansion also completely intact. Bisu is trying to now obviously block off that choke, block off that ramp, but he's got no reavers. He's got no shuttle. Stork has got a shuttle as well as reaver. Bisu now building an expansion in the middle lane. That's not going to matter. I think the game's going to be over before that. Stork has got an observer there as well, so he can see that expansion. He can kill it as soon as it goes up. And Stork deciding not to press on right now, not to finish the game. Bisu obviously doesn't want to concede. Stork is just so far ahead, it's not even funny. Stork also building photon cannons, to being mindful of the fact that Bisu might have Templar coming. I haven't seen, and Stork now going up the middle lane, so Stork is going to be content to just contain Bisu and keep Bisu down in terms of his economy, and keep hurting him and not letting him expand and just starve him out of this game, just force him to quit rather than try and break into Bisu's main, which would obviously be very difficult with that mineral line. It would be obviously incredibly difficult for Stork to break through that mineral line to get into Bisu's main. So that's very clever play by Stork, and Bisu in huge trouble now. He doesn't even have a shuttle to support that Reaver, and Stork's forces are barreling up the middle of the map, and Stork has obviously reinforced that shuttle with probably an extra Reaver. Bisu's just trying to slow Stork down a little bit, trying to take that observer out and trying to give himself buy himself a little bit more time, but Stork has so much superiority in terms of the units on the ground that it's very difficult for Bisu to cope, and Stork just pushing up that, and now Bisu's going to make a stand. This is going to be Bisu's last stand in this game here. Stork dropping the Reaver, Bisu getting a few hits of his Dragoons in before that Reaver shot goes off, so that Reaver shot didn't hurt Bisu too much, but Stork has so many Dragoons more than Bisu, and Bisu's Reaver is now going to get taken out. Bisu loses that Reaver, Stork's Reaver still intact, and Stork might lose that shuttle, but he's not going to care. Bisu's Dragoons die, and Bisu's going to lose this expansion as well. Bisu GG's, brilliant play by Stork, he takes that game. This is going to go to game 5, and that was excellent play by Stork, but again the game unfortunately decided by a small change in strategy between the two players. Neither player obviously superior in micro or macro, just Stork's strategy slightly better, going for that Nexus slightly later seemed to play into his hands. Bisu going for that earlier expansion, giving Stork the opportunity, and Stork took it with both hands. Stork was obviously scouting very well, and he knew his timing was perfect. Any later, and Bisu might have had a bit more defense, might have had a shuttle for that Reaver, but Stork affecting the win. Great play by Stork, and he deserved to win that map definitely. And this is going to go into game 5, and we're going to be back on Loki, and Loki is definitely a game that is more going to be decided between the two players, micro and macro, since both players are going to know each other's strategies, both players are going to be able to scout. It's going to be interesting to see whether Bisu's superior physical skill demonstrates itself again. I'll be back for the next match, guys.